Okay, thank you so much for joining me for week 6. If you just watched the week 5 video, I made that a few minutes ago. So to create some variety here for you, I removed my AirPods and I put my ponytail on the other side just to keep it interesting. All right, so let's talk about week 6. Week 6 was almost entirely dedicated to preparing for this talk. And now, just as a reminder, I made my announcement June 22nd that I want to be the best motivational speaker in the world. And I'm looking for opportunities to speak anywhere that I possibly can, ideally in entrepreneurial communities, which is exactly the opportunity that I got. And I can't wait to tell you about. And I'm going to make a video that's specific to that talk so that you can understand really the deep lessons and learns about preparing for and creating that talk from scratch. But what I learned is that I spent about 90 hours altogether just preparing for this one talk. What's funny about that is that it's a lifetime of experience, and I have been wrestling with what I want this content to be for much longer than that. But when I really honed it into who is my audience and what do they need and how can I help them and serve them, it's about 90 hours that go into that. So what's interesting is that so many people think that speaking is so great because you get on a stage and it's like, oh, you're up there for an hour. Like you work for an hour and then you're done. Why should we pay you whatever it is that a speaking fee is? It's not an hour. First of all, it's a lifetime of experiences combined with my expertise of storytelling and picking the right stories and the right information to make sure, and this obsessive focus over your specific audience and how they're going to get exactly what they need, and then how they can become raving fans of you, your event. Like it's so much more. So out of all of that time and focus, sure, 45 minutes, 60 minutes on a stage, but there's so much value and so much that goes into that, everyone always comes up to me after I give a talk and says, I really want to do what you do for a living. Anybody can do this. It's true. And you probably should if it's something that's interesting to you. But just know that it's a lot more work that goes into it. And the thing that kind of bothers me is that people think that because they can speak and because they've stood in front of audiences before, that they're really good at it. But the reality is, and this is something that I hope to change someday with a future iteration of my business, the reality of it is that most people do not give it the time and attention it deserves. And most talks are really kind of mediocre. Like most of us go to these conferences and we're just praying to God that we pick the right conference, we pick the right breakouts. We hope that the person or the content is going to be a little bit, at a minimum, maybe entertaining. And then at a maximum, like maybe we'll walk away with a nugget. But what I believe is that every talk should have like a paradigm shift. Like you think of something differently. You have this like aha moment. Well, to create that takes a tremendous amount of energy because it's usually the same kind of content and stuff that you've heard. However, it's now, told in a way that I'm going to help you, get it this time. And so that's what I spent a ton of hours on. So let me dig into the data. 71 hours in the week is what I tracked, and all of it went towards that. So Monday, 12 hours, Tuesday, also Wednesday, 11 hours, Thursday, 11 hours. Friday was delivery day. I also had 3 hours for hair and makeup because every single time I get on a stage, I get my hair and makeup professionally done because it always looks weird, like in person. Like I hate talking to people in person when I have my makeup done, for a stage because it's always more dramatic. And I'm not even wearing makeup right now. Like I don't really wear that much makeup, but for the stage and for video and photos, which is what I need for my marketing, I always make that investment of time and money to get that done. So I also did that on Friday. And so that's everything that went into it. And I will share with you the results in the next video, the talk results, what ultimately happened. And then sales calls, I had 4 sales calls last week in the meantime, among all of that. And I booked another talk for November, which was really great. Let's see, I got a new speaking prospect. So they may consider hiring me for May, which is really great. And they're also considering hiring me as an MC, which is wonderful. And then I got a coaching client that, put down a deposit. So kept planting seeds and tried to get I don't feel good in a week like I've done my job if I haven't done my sales activity, because that's truly how I can keep this engine going and how I can, take good care of my family in the meantime. So was it worth it? Was all of that effort worth it? I can't wait to tell you about this in the next video, which I'm about to make for you, which is the results of my first talk on stage after my announcement of my goal to become the best motivational speaker in the world. I'll see you in that video next.